In 1966, 200,000 people rallied together around the world to protest the Vietnam War. During this time, 100 students staged a sit-down around a Navy recruiter table in protest. 6 protesters were arrested at the time. From February 1966 to March 2, 1966, the Miranda v. Arizona case was heard in the Supreme Court. The case was a dispute regarding the verdict based on an issue with the Sixth Amendment. The Sixth Amendment was the right to counsel before interrogation. Ernesto Miranda was a 25-year-old laborer. In 1963, he confessed to kidnapping and raping an 18-year-old girl by the name of Louise Ann Jamison. He was arrested from his home and taken to custody by Carol Cooley and Wilford Young. Ernesto Miranda was then identified by the witnesses. Miranda then asked what he had been arrested for, and the officer stated that he had been positively identified by the witness. He was interrogated for 2 hours, which led to him confessing to the crime. Then wrote his confession down. At the top of each of the pages it was printed, "This statement has been made voluntarily and of my own free will, with no threats or promises of immunity, and with full knowledge of my legal rights, understanding any statement I can and will be used against me." With that being written, Miranda was not informed of his rights to remain silent or to have an attorney present. In June of 1963, his trial took place. He was found guilty of kidnapping and rape and was sentenced to 20 to 30 years imprisonment on each count. In 1965, Miranda filed an appeal to have the case reviewed. His attorney wrote a 2,500-word petition that argued that his Fifth Amendment rights had been violated. His attorney then sent it to the United States Supreme Court. The case brought about many questions on Miranda's behalf. Why was Miranda not informed of his rights? Why he was not told that he has the right to remain silent? Why didn't anyone tell him that he was allowed to have an attorney present during his confession? Miranda won the case with a 5-4 vote. The Supreme Court found that Miranda's was obtained under circumstances that did not meet constitutional standards for protection of the privilege against self-incrimination. They also found that during his interrogation, he was not informed of his rights to remain silent, which made it to where he was not waived his privilege. Supreme Court Justice opinions stated that their decision wasn't supported by the Constitution because his rights were never mentioned. It was also stated that his right to counsel already existed in the Sixth Amendment and were not stated during his interrogation. After acting together, they became the Sixth Amendment, the Miranda Law.